First, this woman had eczema. She was overweight, and they basically called her the witch in high school because she was so, well, a picture speaks 1,000 words. But then one day she took control of her life and changed how she ate. We can hear her story in a second. And this woman also changed her life by changing how she ate. I know, you think you don't have anything in common with the second woman, but you do with the first, right? But what if I told you these two women are the same person? And her name is Heidi Albertsen. Heidi, I know that this is a very personal story for you, so why don't you take us back to the beginning? You were in high school and they called you the witch. Why?
I was not looking like this when I was in high school. I had a bad habit with eating, and my parents were divorced. I don't know exactly what got me to eat, but I definitely ate my feelings away, I think, and I was fat as a result. And
but not just fat. You said you were suffering from eczema.
I have eczema. I still have it. I was born with eczema, and when I was younger, I didn't know a lot about what food to eat, so I was covered in it. I covered it in my face, fingers, legs.
So you're in high school. You're being bullied by people calling you the witch because you're heavy set, you're fat. You said your hair was terrible, it was dry, which was also, I think, a side effect of your condition. And you had an epiphany. One day you changed your life. What did you do?
I remember going to class one day, and I saw on the backboard a picture that some of the students had drawn, and like a name was written, Heidi, with double cheeks. And I remember it hurt. It really hurt. And
so they drew a picture of you on the blackboard.
Yeah, and just sort of like made weird comments to me, and it sort of got to me in my core. And I started listening to my grandparents, who always would squeeze fresh vegetable juices. And instead of going to the bakery, I would start going to the vegetable store, and sort of try to get this new diet going. I knew something had to change because I just couldn't live with the pain of, being fat and being told I was fat and being made fun of. It really hurt greatly.
And what happened?
What happened is I also learned how to work out. I think you have to have sort of balance.
Okay. Yes.
Yeah, it's not just a diet. I mean, burning calories definitely helped, and I grew taller, and the brace came off, and the hair became styled nicer, and I entered a modeling competition with elite models, elite model look of the year.
Right.
And I had no idea really about anything in fashion.
Well, no. How could someone who is fat with braces, with bad hair and eczema, ever think that they could make that leap? But you had faith that you could do better in your life. You changed what you did. You changed your diet, you exercised, and you literally took your life and your future in your hands and changed everything. How did that feel? What was this like for you to literally see the changes start happening?
I remember one time my uncle was over, and he said something about, you're really pretty. And I remember going, what? Like it was a foreign language.
Right.
And
well, you went from the witch to this, and a gradual change, so you yourself didn't see it. I think that's a lot of what happens to a lot of women, is that they think that there's no changes they can make. They think that nothing is going to help them. They think that they will never be a butterfly coming out of that cocoon. And
that's a nice way of expressing.
Yeah, well, that's what it was. You were a caterpillar, and you made this change into a cocoon, and then you changed your diet and everything, and through a slow evolutionary process of the diet and the exercise, you became this butterfly. I think it's an amazing story. And your eczema, you still have it, you say, and what happened? You told me something very funny. You said to me, I have eczema, but it only acts up when I don't eat right.
This is true. I've learned that, if you are on a special regimen and you take care of yourself, and if sometimes you fall off. We talked about that.
And you pay the price.
You pay the price.
And then you
wake
just
up
go right
in the
back
morning.
on again.
Yes.
So it's not you fall off and you stay off. You fall off, you pay the price, and you go
Yes.
back on it again.
I'm modeling for some time now. I eventually won that Elite Look of the Year internationally. Thank you. And started modeling and got off to many adventures, and still live here in New York happily. And throughout the years, I've had some incidents happening. For example, I talked to you about, which was I was in a hotel room and I woke up in the morning and I was allergic to the hotel room.
Right, you had an environmental factor.
Yeah.
But what did you do? You went back, you drank water, you cleaned out your system,
Exactly.
and you went right back to your food and your diet. And I think you are a huge inspiration to a lot of women. I know looking at you like this today, they probably could never feel they could be that way, but to see the picture that you graciously gave us of what you looked like before, and so that people could say, yes, I know, I feel like that girl. Yeah. And to see you like this, you give a lot of inspiration for people. Thank you so much for sharing your story. I really appreciate you coming on.
Thank you for having me.